All right, let's give you this. Washington Nationals fall in extra innings to the Philadelphia Phillies, but what a performance by MacKenzie Gore. He joins this list. Most strikeouts without a walk in opening day history. J.R. Richard back in 1980 did it against the Dodgers with 13, and Bob Gibson also did it against the Giants way back in 1967. Guys, his stuff has always been electric. What was working for him yesterday?
We were waiting, Roflo, for him to take the next step. You could kind of starting to see it come. I mean, just elite stuff, right?
Kitchen sink.
So I wanted Chris Young out here. We're gonna glance over how he attacks the lefties, but I want CY out here because you talk about two different ways of going about it. I was a guy that wanted to hit the ball up the middle the other way. You were a guy that wanted to close the screen door and go deep to left. And facing a guy like MacKenzie Gore, I think your way actually,
I like my approach.
It might be the better approach. We'll get into it, but I want to love on him a little bit because I'm not surprised. The shadows played a major part yesterday. Day game in D.C., they started creeping in. But lefties have absolute zero chance. So pause this real quick. Bring up how he attacks left-handers. And you see it Thursday. I mean, normally, fastball, curveball in 2024 with a slider sweeper. He said, no, we're throwing that out the door. I don't know if he thought they couldn't pick up the baseball or whatever he was doing from the left side. You were getting 51.1% slider.
It's shocking that he went through entire 2024 only throwing it 7% of the time. You have to have something going away, like really away from the lefties to try to change the effectiveness of your fastball. Yes, I understand you throw 97, 98 miles an hour topping out, but you have to have something to keep them off balance to try to speed that fastball up a little bit.
And you know you got good stuff. Give me the first at bat for Bryce Harper. Listen, him coming back into Nats Park, 95 middle. Just no fear in the world. Then nasty 88 sweeper, and then see you later. Just a little bit off. And it was a steady diet of this sweeper to the left-handed hitters. Max Kepler, little shadows right there, gets jelly-legged. Bryson Stott, same thing. Unless you're willing to pot commit and take this up the middle the other way, it's going to be hard for you to stay on that.
Right.
And when he's got 97, you can't come off it.
And D-Ro, I understand the shadows play, and you saw in the very first at bat, the shadows weren't really there. As the game went along, he started to notice that they couldn't pick up the spin on his ball. And yes, maybe he exposed that a little bit, but more than just using it, he was able to be effective with it. When you look at where he was hitting his spots, he was starting them things in the zone, dropping off the table, starting it in the zone, falling out to the right. I mean, he used it extremely effectively.
I want to know why this guy, you watch him and the stuff explodes off the TV screen. Highest perceived average fastball velocity. So what does that mean? Some guys have a tendency, and we face these guys. I think Jose Quintana is a perfect example of perceived velocity because when you watch him warm up, you would almost think, all right, 90 to 92, I'm going to get on this. It looks like just a normal four-seam lefty fastball. And then you get in a box, and it's got this late hop through the zone, and it just plays a lot hotter than you think it's going to.
Just watching him pitch, I assumed he was 6'5".
Yeah.
Like watching him on the mound, he has a presence of a taller pitcher. Now I look it up, I'm like, this guy's 6'2". He does not look 6'2" when he's out there. It's
so
impressive.
MacKenzie Gore has got that perceived velocity. So let's see a side angle of his motion, see if he has deception. I mean, he really gets out there. He kind of shows the ball behind, and then it's from the ear and nasty. And he stands on the third base side of the mound. I'm big on that. Kids at home, don't be afraid to manipulate that mound a little bit. Because when you stand on the third base side of the mound, for me, when I'm a right-handed hitter and I'm a guy that likes to move the ball up the middle the other way, you almost feel like you're behind me a little bit, where I have to open up. I don't know if you felt that.
No, that's something that I used to play with Andrew Heaney. And when I wasn't an everyday player, I would go and stand in on his bullpens. And one thing he would always play with, he said, CY, I want to see how this ball looks when I'm standing on the left side of the rubber, right side of the rubber.
Yes.
And you would assume that with him being on the front first base side, he would be able to get more crossfire, but he really struggled to hit that inside corner when he had to come so far across his body. When he found himself on the third base side of the rubber, it felt like it was just bearing down on me if he can hit that spot on the inside. It was impressive.
And that's what when I watch MacKenzie. He's on the third base side of the mound for a right-handed hitter. He doesn't have to worry with his stuff being so electric about being so fine print with his location. He can miss over the heart of the plate and get foul offs. But what it looks to me like he's trying to accomplish, and we've talked about this before, he's trying to turn 17 inches into almost 20. He wants this inside of the white line to a right-handed hitter where you get in that auto swing mode to try and get him out of there, and then he can throw that nasty breaking ball and you got nothing for a right-hander. So let's run this and then we'll get into how Chris Young would attack it. You see it right here where he's set up. He's gonna make the plate bigger. So Alec Bohm you just start getting into this auto swing mode where that looks like a strike for a long time. Trey Turner, you see him checking out where the second base is playing him. Top of the zone, 95. Middle cut, gets away with it.
That's the one, that's the pitch right there.
Middle cut, gets away with it. Breaking ball, top of the zone. Now it's nasty breaking ball, you would assume heater right here. Let's make the plate bigger. Nice job, Bader. Here we go. Wipeout, 96, black, maybe in off a little bit, but you're swinging at that. So you saw how he attacked right-handed batters yesterday. He dumbed down his fastball usage, upped his curveball, upped his change. You were getting a 4-pitch mix. My question to you, I was always a guy when I faced somebody like that, I would almost draw an imaginary line from the black part of this plate, inside half, out to his arm. So I wanted to know if it started on that line, if it was going to be ball in, if it was going to catch part of the plate, because I was a guy who was trying to stay inside, and I didn't want to swing at that breaking ball down and in.
Right.
Now
let's switch.
You thought you could beat him to the spot and take him deep to left.
And that approach, it all depended on the pitcher. If I knew the pitcher couldn't come in here comfortably, I would go with your approach. I would say, okay,
staying out.
I'm gonna stay out over. He'll make a mistake out over. I'm trying to drive this ball through the middle. What makes MacKenzie Gore different for me is that he's proven, like Carlos Rodon when he was with the White Sox, he proved to me that he can consistently throw the ball right over this inner corner. So I said, okay, instead of trying to stay inside this ball and fight it the other way, because everything is coming towards me. If he throws me that cutter and you're trying to take the ball the other way, you're literally fighting.
You're fighting.
You're fighting to try to, get jammed the other way? My hands weren't good enough, D-Row, to get to a point to where I'm getting inside and driving a ball that's moving in towards me to right center field. So I say, I'll take the other approach and I'll give him this outer quarter right here. So, okay, so yes, I'll be exposed on the great changeup that he throws. But the cutter, the breaking ball, and the fastball,
coming in,
I got this all the way to here, and now it's a race to the spot. So if he's coming in, and I could get my ankle blown up on a foul ball. I completely understand that. But I'm taking my chances because the balls that Trey Turner fouled off in that breakdown, he's late on the fastball middle in. So what I'm trying to do, this ball is going straight left field, and I'm trying to race you to the punch because you have 97. I have to respect the 97. I'm getting the head out and trying to catch you right here.
And that's the game. He knows that. He knows the hitters that are going to try and beat him to the spot. He knows the hitters that are going to try and force feed balls up the middle the other way. Lefties really have no shot if he's on.
Yeah.
Robert, expect more from MacKenzie Gore.
Hey, I like that.
Very
Come
good.
on.
Nicely done.